state of Texas has mandated that every non-exempt student entering a public college or university must complete a pre-assessment activity prior to taking the TSI assessment.
This brief pre-assessment activity video is designed to explain what the Texas Success Initiative, also commonly called the TSI Assessment, is and why it is important.
You will also learn about the information you can expect to be tested on, ways that you can prepare before taking it, the resources available at your college of choice, and your placement options. A required practice test will be the second part of the pre-assessment activity. The TSI assessment has a diagnostic component that will test you on skills that you already have and identify your strengths and weaknesses. It is important to put forth your best efforts so that you can place as high as possible in your course level when you start college.
Your scores on the TSI assessment will determine your skill level in reading, math, and writing. Be sure to take this seriously. It affects your placement into classes, your time, and your money.
Let's look at some of the details of the TSI assessment. The test is designed to place you at the level of coursework where you are best able to learn. So no matter where you place on the exam, your advisors can help you in selecting the best courses for you.
The TSI assessment is untimed. Please allow a minimum of 4 to 5 hours to complete the assessment. The entire test is computerized. It is not a paper and pencil test, even for the writing section.
You will be provided with a computerized calculator for the parts of the math section that will allow you to use a calculator. The only thing you need to bring with you to your college testing center is a photo ID and a referral form.
All portions of the test are multiple choice, except for the occasional essay. The TSI assessment is an adaptive test. That means that the difficulty of each question will depend on how you answered the previous question.
The questions will get harder and worth more points as you answer correctly. You get fewer points when you answer incorrectly. The higher the points, the better the score. Because the test is designed this way, for all multiple choice questions, you must submit an answer in order to move on to the next question. You cannot go back to previous questions.
After completing the TSI assessment, it is important that you discuss your scores with an academic advisor who will be able to help you interpret your scores and select classes, not the testing center.
The TSI assessment is free the first time that you test. Retests range from $10 to $40, depending on how many sections of the test you wish to retake. Remember that taking the test seriously and doing your best the first time is your greatest benefit.
You may be asking yourself, why do I have to take the TSI assessment? As we've stated before, one of the most important reasons is because the college uses TSI assessment test results to determine which level of coursework you will be most successful in, so that we will place you in the correct courses. Another reason is that it is a state legal requirement for the college. The Texas Success Initiative, or TSI assessment, mandates that incoming students must complete the TSI pre-assessment activity and then take the TSI assessment test before starting college.
We recommend that you take the ESL Compass exam instead of the TSI assessment if your primary language is not English or you were raised with English but have difficulty with the language.
Scores from the ESL Compass test are designed to place students in ESOL courses in listening, speaking, reading, writing, and grammar in preparation for college-level courses for credit. For more information on the ESL Compass test, contact an academic advisor.
Now, let's discuss what's on the TSI assessment. The TSI assessment measures your skills in writing, reading, and math. Your writing skills are assessed in two possible parts, the multiple choice sentence structure and, if needed, on the written essay. Students who want to complete their core courses, transfer to university, or are pursuing an Associate of Arts or Science degree will also be assessed on their computer literacy skills. Please be sure to ask your academic advisor if you will be required to complete the computer literacy portion of the assessment. Now we'll give you some inside tips and show you a few sample problems from the reading, writing, and math sections.
Let's review the reading section first. The reading assessment will assess your ability to understand and apply the information that you read. The stories you will be asked to assess are usually no more than 4 sentences, but they will be packed with information. You may be asked to determine the main idea, make an inference or an educated guess about a paragraph, and determine the relationship between 2 sentences. Do they support each other, contradict each other, etc.? You may also be asked about the author's purpose or tone of the passage, and the meaning of the words within the context of the paragraph. The reading comprehension assessment is adaptive. This means that you will be given certain questions based on your response to the previous question. The problems will become more difficult as you answer correctly, and easier if you answer incorrectly. It is untimed. Many of your questions will be phrased in this manner. You will need to carefully read the passage to choose the correct answer.
As you read the passage, Think about its content. Take your time to carefully read and understand the passage. Once you've read the passage, review the question to determine what you're looking for. Now, read the passage again and predict the answer to the question you were asked. Read all of your possible choices and refer back to the passage to support your answer. You may also use the process of elimination and finally select the best answer.
Apply the strategies we just reviewed to answer this question. The main idea is that students who hope to avoid math may have math anxiety. Support for this answer is found in the paragraph, these students who hope to avoid math, may be suffering from math anxiety, an overwhelming fear of the subject, rather than an intellectual impairment.
In sentence relationship questions, you will be asked to identify the relationship between two sentences. You will need to be aware of the transition words and logical connections. These are 5 common relationships.
Let's take a look at this example. Using the process of elimination, we can say that D is not the answer. These sentences do not say the same thing. We can also eliminate C. The first sentence doesn't introduce the second. The second sentence can stand alone and make sense on its own. We have 2 choices left, A and B. What do you think the correct answer is? The sentences contradict each other. A. The first sentence implies that Americans can easily travel the country, while the second sentence states that traveling the country is severely limited.
Now let's review the 2 parts of the writing portion of the TSI assessment. Your writing score will be determined by the result of your sentence structure and, if needed, a written 300 to 600 word essay.
The first portion of the writing TSI assessment focuses on sentence skills. This section is untimed. There will be multiple choice questions in 2 formats. You'll be asked to correct or rewrite the sentence.
In sentence correction questions, you will be asked to replace portions of the sentence. You may want to read the sentence with each replacement option to see which makes the most sense. This portion is untimed, so take as long as you need. Which answer is correct? The correct answer is D.
In questions where you are asked to rewrite the sentence, you will be shown a sentence and asked to rewrite a portion of it to make more sense without changing its meaning. This portion of the test is untimed, so you may want to write out the question with each answer choice. The correct answer here is C. She was often interviewed because she was a female jockey. Makes more sense than the other choice options.
Based on your sentence skill score, you may or may not have to write an essay. Here are a few things to remember about the writing essay portion. Be sure to write multiple paragraphs. This means you will want to start a new line and indent for each new paragraph. You will be prompted to write 300 to 600 words. Though it is not absolutely necessary, we recommend writing closer to 600 words. The prompt will be persuasive in nature. This means you need to use your opinion to convince the reader whether you agree or disagree with the topic at hand.
The TSI assessment is graded by the computer. Your essay will be graded on focus, organization, development, and support of your argument, sentence structure, and mechanics and grammar.
You will have scratch paper. Jot down your ideas as they come to you. Type your essay without editing. Get your words onto the screen in an organized manner, and then check for focus, organization, sentence structure, and spelling.
Here are a few tips to remember when writing your essay. You can use the 5-paragraph rule, an introduction, 3 supporting paragraphs, and a conclusion. Or you can use the 4-paragraph rule, with only 2 supporting body paragraphs. Be sure to include a topic sentence stating your reason or main point at the beginning of each supporting paragraph, and include a specific example within each body paragraph. In your introductory statement, use the language from the prompt to create your thesis statement. Your 2 to 3 supporting paragraphs should be separate and distinct reasons that support your point of view. This is where you will expand on your ideas. Your introduction and conclusion can be brief. This is a prompt that has been used on the TSI assessment. When writing your essay, you want to first determine your point of view.
Do you support the idea that participation in organized sports should be mandatory, or should participation be optional? This will be expressed in your introduction.
After you've made your decision, develop 2 or 3 reasons that can support your stance. Conclude by restating your thesis. You will be asked to correct or rewrite the sentence.
Let's talk a little bit about how the math section works. This section is untimed, so take as long as you need. You're not able to skip questions, so be sure to select the best answer for each problem.
All students start off with problems in elementary algebra. Now, if you don't do well here, you will start to see arithmetic problems.
This will mean placement in developmental math courses to prepare you for future success in college-level math.
Now, if you do well with the elementary algebra questions, you'll be taken to the college algebra problems. And if you do well with the college algebra problems, this means you'll be placed in college algebra courses.
Remember, you will always start with elementary algebra problems, and then you will either see arithmetic or college algebra questions depending on how well you do, but you will not see both.
Again, don't worry if you struggle in math. The TSI assessment is designed to place you in the right courses so that you will succeed in college.
And don't forget, all of our support services available in the next section of the pre-assessment activity video.
Now that you are familiar with the purpose and content of the TSI assessment, let's discuss some tips to ensure that you will be prepared to take the TSI assessment. You don't have to take the TSI assessment the day you hear about it. Take some time to study, using information from the required practice test after this video. The day of the test, have a good meal before the exam. Make sure that you are well rested. Make sure you have set aside enough time to take it. The average student takes a minimum of 4 to 5 hours to complete the exam. Do not rush. Although it may be tempting to rush and complete the exam to register for classes, it is in your best interest to take your time on each question. Last but not least, relax. Although it is easier said than done, make sure to try and relax. If you are feeling overwhelmed while taking the exam, take a deep breath, gather your thoughts, and continue.
Also, be aware that as the beginning of each semester approaches, the testing center is busy. Make plans to get to the college early to avoid long lines. With the proper preparation, you will do great.